Hello everyone, I'm Baltmatrix, and today we are taking a look at Transformers Studio Series number 71, Dino. Now, Dino was an Autobot that was in Dark of the Moon, and it wasn't until this figure showed up that I remembered that Dino exists. Now, Dino transforms into a Ferrari 458 Italia in the movie. The toy transforms into a Ferrari-esque vehicle mode. We'll take a look at that here in a little bit. The actual figure itself is standard deluxe class size for Studio Series and is quite nice, even if it could use a little bit more paint. The figure's in red, silver, and black, with a little bit of blue for the eyes. I'll do a close-up here in a second. And it works overall, and it really does feel very genuine to my Italian heritage. Short, wide, stocky. Yeah, that explains us Italians pretty well. I get what the designers are going for with the face, and it works well towards the movie likeness, but let's face it, the character was just utterly forgettable. Hell, I've been doing this for I don't know how many years, and I forgot this character existed. So forgive me if I don't even really recognize the face at all. Kind of looks like a pumpkin for some reason. Dino comes with this highway scene that I legit don't remember ever happening in the movie. I'm sure it did, and in fact, according to TF Wiki, that was the only action he really saw, so at least it's accurate. I really feel guilty for not remembering who this character is or that it ever existed. The figure has these two wing doors that are actually pretty darn posable and refreshing, considering Bumblebee's wing doors are always a little bit on the annoying side. He comes with two different weapons, or I should say two accessories that are the same weapon, and that are these blades that just peg into 5mm ports on the bottom of his forearms. There's nowhere else for them to peg in. It would be funny if you could stick them onto his butt, however, you cannot. There's a stand port between the figure's legs so you can get him to pose a little bit. And speaking of posability, let's start with the bottom first. There is no ankle side to side, but there is forward and back to a point. That's for the transformation. Legs are on ball joints, thigh swivels, bends at the knees, and then, well, that's about it for the foot. There is no torso articulation due to the transformation. Ball joint in the shoulder with plenty of movement, and then an arm swivel that is exceptionally tight, and then a, well, bend at the elbow that goes a bit farther than you might think is possible thanks to the transformation, and a fist swivel that is just tight enough. Finally, the head is on a ball joint, however, it's just kind of stuck because you can only bend it so far before it starts hitting these collarbone exhausts? Or are they supposed to be rear view mirror or side view mirrors? I don't know. Either way, the head runs into them and limits posability a little bit. The blades may be carried in the hands with no issues whatsoever. That frees up the bottom of the forearms to have, guns attached. Dino is a little bit on the small side for a deluxe until you start putting him up next to the other deluxes, and he's roughly the same size as Shatter, minus the ginormous backpack, but he is a head smaller than Soundwave, and I do have a Bumblebee around here. I just can't find it, but as you can see, Studio Series Jazz towers over the guy. All right, let's go ahead and get in the transformation, and hold on to your butts, because this is a lot more complicated than I thought it was going to be. Sorry to interrupt the music, but there are two pegs that are coming off the forearms that will actually peg into these areas underneath the hood. It's a little bit difficult to line up, but once you get it lined up, nothing's moving. The car mode we end up with is adjacent to a Ferrari. It's not exactly a Ferrari. It's fine, but it misses that certain je ne sais quoi that a Ferrari has. This is just generic sports car. I'm not complaining about that, though, because the sports car we end up with is actually pretty good. It's just not a Ferrari. The tires are actually well painted, which I appreciate, and the overall aesthetic works okay. It's just not a Ferrari. Anywho, color, paint. I think it's pretty close. Under bright lights, you could tell that that panel doesn't match that panel, that doesn't match these panels. That's because the doors and the roof are all clear plastic. Thankfully, so far, it doesn't suffer from jazz shatter syndrome that a lot of folks have had to deal with Studio Series Jazz. I'm not one of them yet. I do worry about the longevity of this guy, though, because this whole roof section, clear plastic, and the doors, clear plastic painted over, but they feel thicker than Jazz does, so there is that. If you pick up this figure, you can do the veritable doot-de-doo. It does roll well, as long as you've got it transformed correctly. While I have been shooting this video review, I realized that none of my figures are in vehicle mode. And I'm a little bit pressed for time, so I don't have time to transform it into, or transform them into vehicle mode to do a suitable size comparison. So you're going to get a tank, Titans Returns Quake, and a Triceratops. Yeah, that's good enough. Yep, it's smaller than both of them. At the end of the day, Dino is a welcome addition to the Studio Series family. It is a fun figure, a good transformation, solid robot mode, a questionable vehicle mode that does technically work, but overall, I like it. It's worth picking up. For a character that had, 5 minutes worth of screen time total, maybe 10. So folks, let me know what you think of this figure down in the comments. Be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons, and be sure to hit that bell. As I said in my Air Razor review, if you hit the bell and you're already subscribed and it doesn't work, unsubscribe from my channel, then resubscribe, and it'll work again. Don't know why. So folks, thanks for watching. I've been Baltmatrix, and I'll catch you next time.